puts up with me, counsels me, listens to my wife complain about me. He's a friend and a great leader.
All right. He was talking about Reverend Wright. That's a soundbite that's causing a firestorm. Maybe it should be noted it was from 2007, but why let facts get in the way of a good soundbite? Anyway, that clip certainly has been what you would term an October surprise. Is this a problem for President Obama? Well, let's bring in the table now to talk about this. There's other clips. I made the mistake of watching a good chunk of it. I'll never have 40 minutes of my life back after this. The media covered this at the time, but if you flick around the 24-hour channels today, they're all hot and bothered over this thing. Big problem for them or not?
No, and it shouldn't be. But let me make this argument: is that this type of stuff is BS, and it should be BS on both sides, though. We have these releases of this nonsense, etc. And my Democratic friends yesterday were in a tither about the release of this video.
What's a tither?
They just were like in a flurry on Twitter and Facebook, and the world was collapsing, etc. And as a Republican, I'm like, this is the nonsense I got to put up with 365 days a year. This is meaningless to Americans. However, the only point about Reverend Wright is that you can't have it both ways. And this is what I mean by that, is that Reverend Wright is a very, very radical person. That's my personal view. Okay. I think that most Americans would think he is. And if my pastor had stood up at my Catholic church and pounded on the platform and said, "God damn America," I would walk out of that church. I don't care about the rest of it. I'd find another church to go live in, okay?
Didn't he condemn him?
No. In that speech.
That's 2007.
But
in the campaign.
Oh, come on, Richard.
In the campaign, he said, "Me and Reverend Wright were done."
Richard, and if you believe that, I'll sell you some fracking rights around the corner. I mean, that's just BS. But you just know that that's BS. The bottom line is he is a very, very close advisor to that family. He was very involved with baptizing their kids, very close to the wife, etc. No. But what I'm saying is, what I'm saying to you is that he's close to their family.
To this day.
Listen, I don't know what if they talk about politically. Wait. Politically,
a reporter would make a career if they had a scoop that he came.
But the point is that just because he says, "I can't talk to you anymore," I get that. But don't make like he sat in the pew at the moment when he was pounding "Goddamn America." He was in church with him. I think that should it be part of this story? No, we got other agents. Got people out of work.
Maybe he's right. Is he right, Evan, or is this yesterday's news?
This is absolutely not. This is absolutely 100% not yesterday's news. It's 2008's news. Right. It's 4 years ago. People know the story. They've made their minds up on it. And quite frankly, they've made up their mind about Barack Obama based on his performance as president, not about a guy who baptized his kids a dozen years ago.
Evan, my point is 4 years ago. If Mitt Romney, this is the point I was getting to, that I don't care about it. Okay. If 4 years ago,
yet he's an advisor to this day.
I didn't say he's calling him. I'm saying is that if you really believe that Barack Obama sits at home and goes, "That blah 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 Reverend Wright," I don't believe that to be the case. I believe they can't talk.
But do you believe he sits there and calls
No,
the
of
guy?
course not. I'm saying is that he lived the deal with him. Okay, politically he had to push him aside, throw him out the door. All I'm saying to you is that
alternatively he was offended by something.
If he would have walked out of the church at the time. He didn't do that. He would have said at that time, "I'm leaving the church." He didn't do that. The point is, though, is that if Mitt Romney had lived through that, if his pastor had said similar things, we would be hearing about it from the media today. There is no doubt in my mind we'd be hearing about it today. If his Mormon minister said, "God damn America," to this day, I don't care if it was 20 years later, there'd be TV commercials and the media would be going, "Look at Mitt Romney's minister."
Tom, you need decaf. I mean,
I don't need decaf.
The problem here is people are trying to resuscitate issues that voters have already made up their minds about. And quite frankly, the election's not about Jeremiah Wright. It's not really about Barack Obama or Mitt Romney. It's about voters.
In the last 3 weeks, this is the first day, guys, I remember that Romney won a news cycle.
It's because he wasn't talking.
Okay, but he got a tape. Whatever he did, he still won a news cycle.
Still not talking about the economy or the issues that Romney thinks he can actually win on.
But isn't part of his problem that people don't see him as winning? And if they see any kind of momentum Listen, I think the tape's BS, right? And I got to think people fought this fight already 4 years ago, Don. But to me, at least on the momentum front, they're talking about this. Now, you've been saying forever that you thought this thing was going to come back up.
Not I thought, I knew.
I know.
I knew. You know how I knew? Because Obama's black. And this is more, no, I'm serious,
32 minutes
Richard.
past the hour.
I'm
Go ahead.
serious. This is a way of reinforcing to America that the president is African American.
Are you kidding?
I'm dead serious.
We don't know this?
No, people voted for the president and they crossed racial lines to do so.
Post-racial president.
But this is a way of saying, hey, the black guy that he promised to fix the economy and he didn't fix it.
That's
Who
ridiculous.
does this
I don't care if
who
he's
does-
pink.
Who does this resonate with?
This resonates with America.
Back up. I wouldn't make this an issue. If I'm the Republican National Committee, I wouldn't be throwing this out there.
Remember I
To me,
told
it's
you as
meaningless.
president, Obama could never get angry on any issue because then he'd be seen as an angry black man. Every black man in America will tell you that.
Dominic, he's eye candy. The president of the United States,
Wait,
eye
he's eye
candy.
candy.
That's
I
what he
don't-
said.
I don't know what
He's-
that means.
I don't know. Ask him. He said it on The View the other day. He said, I'm eye candy. The president.
What does that mean?
I
Richard?
don't know. You tell me what does it mean.
I don't know what
The
that
president of the
means.
United States on 9/11 on The View said,
Show back on. I have a question.
I'm eye candy.
Strategy point. If I was Romney, he's got the day out of this. I don't think it's a 2 or 3 day story. I think everyone's going to be talking about the debate. I would, since he had nothing, certainly this is a third party.
He
they
should
put
say
it
it's
up to
meaningless.
I would come out and say, I condemn this. Let's talk about the issues. Let's talk about what
Who's
matters.
he
What
condemning?
matters.
No.
What Mitt Romney has to do is actually, because he gets a boost out of standing next to the President of the United States, is actually not perpetuate a storyline that's divisive and that, quite frankly,
won't.
doesn't matter to voters.
But listen,
what
here's
he should
another
be, but
prediction.
what he should be
Here's
doing
another prediction.
is trying to
if
dial
his
it back.
poll numbers don't get better, Romney's going to run commercials on Reverend
Absolutely
Wright.
will not.
Watch.
Absolutely.
Watch.
Absolutely.
Watch. Or
That-
super PAC.
No, I don't believe
Or
that.
super
I
PAC.
don't
You might
believe
see
they
third
will
parties.
because there was an issue that's escaping me right now that came up months ago where they asked him. There was the Wright issue.
Yeah.
They asked him one of the.
doesn't mean a third
but no,
party
no,
couldn't
no.
do it.
But he
confused on eye
condemned.
candy.
He
did.
condemned the super
did.
PAC and said, "Do not. I would be against him doing that. He will not go down that road."
So
But you already said with Reverend Wright, it's a wink, wink, and nod. That's exactly what a super PAC is. I don't have anything to do with that, and then the super PAC runs the ad.
But again, they're associated all together now, okay? I think if a super PAC, if Rove's super PAC, if the Romney super PAC came out and did it, it's guilt by association. I do not think that helps
Fair
the
enough,
campaign at
fair
all.
enough.
I just don't
that
think
does
it,
not help
I
them.
just don't think it works
I don't
because it's
either.
not core to what voters care about.
Okay, we come to a break, and when we come back, we're going to take you behind the scenes, the back rooms, the spin rooms, before and after the debate. I get asked a lot, well, what happens really? When do they? We'll give you at least what we've seen at different levels here, and we'll tell you what these guys get ready until they get to the podium at 9 o'clock, and then what happens after, which really kind of defines who won or who lost the next day. Stay with us.